Do you prefer stocked or time matches? Have you mastered all the supers in Marvel vs. Capcom? Have you gotten a flawless victory every time you've played? If you said yes to any of these questions, then it's time to pick an alternate costume, press back, forward, down, back, circle, and get ready to fight on this week's...
Let's get ready to rumble!
You win! Perfect!
We'll be your friends.
Alright, hello and welcome to another episode of We'll Be Your Friends, the only podcast to flawlessly execute a maximum spider move in Marvel vs. Capcom. I'm your host, Taylor. With me, as always, the Ken to my Ryu. John, how you doing this week? What's going on?
Good. Same old. Just drinking beer and playing fighting video games.
Except you don't have a beer this week.
I don't.
So why would you introduce yourself as drinking beer if you're not going to bring one on?
Well, I drink it all. It's all gone.
Gotcha. Well, instead, we have a lovely gift from our special guest. So let's just get right into it. Gene, our resident expert on fighting games. Gene, how are you doing today? What's going on?
Hey, ¿qué pasa? I'm doing good. Pretty solid, actually. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little bit late. I was actually kind of cleaning up some rounds before I got here too.
Hey, no, that's fine. I'm glad that you got in the mood to come and talk. Now, you brought this lovely beverage for us today. First of all, you're the only person to bring a gift, so thank you. And heads up, future guests. Just remember this.
It's an expectation.
The bar's been set.
The bar has been set, yes. So, what is it that you brought for us? And it actually works out because it replaces the beer segment that John fucked up on. So,
We actually planned this.
what did you bring, and why did you bring it for us? Other than to be nice.
Well, the drink is called a Yoli. It's a drink actually from the next one in Mexico. It's a drink that, I don't know, I just always drank it as a kid. It's just something I always got. As a child, you're like, oh, this is super great. It's nice. It's not super carbonated, or so it doesn't, like, burn your nostrils at times.
Very light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on top of that, as an adult, it's great for hangovers. Like, it's just awesome.
I can drink buckets of this.
Yeah, it's super great, super delicious. It goes down smooth. And on top of that, it's actually pretty cheap. Not up here. Down there, though. Pretty cheap.
So this is straight
Yeah.
from Mexico?
Yeah. They changed the bottle design, though, because they just recently started selling them. Before, they were actually, like, this big. They were huge. They were huge. But they changed the bottle design.
This is a pretty big bottle.
Yeah. And that's why they were so great.
Half a litro.
Half a litro.
Because, like, before, it was great. They were, like, about this round.
Yeah.
And, like, this big. And it was great, because it's basically, like, before, it was, like, $1. And it's like, you get that much.
Gene's gesturing a slightly larger bottle in his hand. So,
Yeah, we'll put comparison pictures up for people.
we're going to have a giant, like,
Just banana for scale.
There you go.
Yeah. So, this is delicious. I like this almost better than every beer that John has brought in here so far.
There you go.
So
I like this more than
Take
every
it,
soda
John.
I've ever had. This is amazing. It's not a fight. I know you're all about fighting
It's
games.
like
You didn't say it wasn't.
it tastes almost. And now I'm gonna say this, but I mean it in a good way, and I don't know why it's good. It tastes almost like Alka-Seltzer.
But it's smooth.
But it's smooth. Yeah, exactly. It's smooth, and it's got just the right amount of sugar, where if this was medicine, I wouldn't mind taking it, because this is fucking delicious.
I would drink a lot of medicine if that was the case.
just be healthy as hell.
I definitely want some tacos.
I think it works like that. If I drink more, I'll just never get sick.
There you go.
Yeah, I want to get tacos now. This is, like, really delicious.
Yeah, now I'm upset I don't have tacos.
There you go. I think, what is it called? Just, there's some Mexican stores that sell them, but it's like an on and off kind of thing. Because, like, sometimes I'll go, they'll have
Seasonal.
them. Yeah, and sometimes they'll have them, sometimes they won't. So that's why when I went down to the Mexican store and they had them, I just bought like a crate. I was just like, I'm taking all this.
Your whole backpack was jingling when you walked into that.
Oh no, yeah, I bought a whole bunch. I was like, I brought some for us, and then I have like another crate just at home, just kicking it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for bringing some because it is delicious. Now, let's kind of get into what we brought you on this week for. This episode is about fighting games, specifically. Exactly. So let's get right into it. What are some of your favorite fighting games out there? And, obviously we picked you because you play them all the time. That's your thing. So kind of give us a TDLR of what it is that you love about fighting games.
Let's see. For the first question, for my favorite fighting game, like currently, or like just out of the new ones, or just of all time?
All time.
Yeah, we'll go all time, and then we can talk about what you're playing most.
Oh, okay,
What's
cool.
All time.
All right, all time SNK versus Capcom 2. Love the hell out of that game. It was my shiz. They used to have it at a bar called Ground Control up in Portland, and I used to play the heck out of it all the time. Then they took it off because they're revamping and they're remodeling. I don't know if you guys have been there recently, but it's gone now.
I haven't been there recently, but I've heard that I've heard good things about it. When I used to go, it was very cramped. But
no, yeah, way more room now. Great.
It's
awesome.
I've heard that they expanded.
It smelled like sweaty nerds
it smelled,
drinking and playing video games.
It smelled like dude pretty hard.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that game
It's
is
a little more airy.
that game is definitely hands down my favorite. Played the heck out of it with my buddy Art. I think last time I went there, when they had it, I got like 13 rounds straight, and I won. I was like super excited about it. I was like, yeah, but then bar was closing, so we had to leave. I was like, damn it.
The bar was closed.
Yeah. That high, but the bar said no.
Yeah, so then there was that, and so that was definitely my favorite. For fighting games though, in general, what I love about them.
Yeah, why gravitate towards them?
Because there is no number one. Like, there is no person just... Like, there will be a person with a crown for a while, but, like, it's never permanent. Like, it's never, like, just, like, latched or glued down to anybody, like, sole one person.
Change, like
yeah. Like,
it's
you
a
can...
constant battle of King of the Hill.
Yeah, it's just a constant battle. Like, there's no way... Like, there's going to be... always like, I like it because there's always going to be someone out there that's, like, 1,000 times better than you are. And it's just, like, at that point, you're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, for me... I'm excited to play the games and actually lose because I'm like, dude, this is just this person that's better at me. So like, I always like to play people that are like just way better. That's why I like going to the tournament over at Ground Control because there's just players that are way better than me. So I like playing against them, going against them, learning new tricks and stuff like that.
Yeah, do you learn from
sharpening
them?
your blade?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, because after you play with them or whatever, like obviously everybody's just sitting there waiting for the next turn in the bracket. So like you kind of just, especially since it's Ground Control, so everybody's like grabbing a beer and they're just like, oh hey, like hey dude, what's up? Like hey, that was a good round. And then you pretty much get to talking to them and everything, and then you just like
socializing. You're getting into
See, I want to get involved in this community. I think it's such a cool everyone's cool, but they're all competitive too.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like
you're like friends, and then when you're on
it's
the
like
stage,
being in a room with the most approachable boxers ever.
Yeah,
exactly.
Kinda, yeah, pretty much, because it's like everybody's like super nice, super like social, just like what up, dude? Like yeah, you can talk to each other just fine. But then, like, as soon as you sit down and you look at that screen and you, like, shake that hand, it's like, all right, game on, man. Like, I don't care about
Dogs eat dogs.
Yeah, it's like, I don't care about you, your dog, or your mama. Like, it's going to go down, like, at this point.
Talk about that a little bit. Talk on your experience in tournaments. You know, it sounds like this is something that you frequent a lot. John's told me a little bit about it, but, you know, I don't know too much about it. So, do you travel throughout the tournament scene pretty heavily, or is there only one game, like, oh, they're playing the tournament of this, let me go check it out, or is it any fighting game, you're going to show up, you're going to try and win some money? What do you do it for?
I don't necessarily do it to win money. I do it because of the challenge and just, like, the overall fun factor of it. That's why I do it. Like, I don't really go into a tournament expecting I'm going to win on there. But, like, for the ones that they do in Ground Control, it's a free tournament. So I'm like, all right, cool. You don't got to pay. You don't got to put nothing in the pot. It's like, cool. You can just go in. And if you win, you win. I think this time they had like bar credit. And I was like, hell yeah, man. I was like, you can go in.
Oh, play off my tab.
I was like, all right, cool. I was like,
I ordered more than I thought. I got to go keep playing. Hold on.
So at that point, it's like when you get there, it's like, all right, cool. You can just have fun playing. And if you win, it's like, cool. Maybe I should just pocket it. Wait till next month. So the next tournament comes in, and then just use that bar credit, and then rack up a tab while I'm playing the next tournament.
Oh yeah.
So it's fun.
Do they like serve you drinks while you're playing?
Yeah, you can get drinks and stuff like that.
Or it's okay, so you're like going in between rounds.
Yeah,
it's not like Vegas style where you're like sitting there like clicking away at this
Nah,
cabinet.
no, that's like kind of like the last thing you kind of want, because a lot of people normally when they play, it's like, what is it, like sweaty hands or like wet hands from like grabbing your beer, your drink.
Mom's
That's like
spaghetti,
that. Yeah, that's like the last thing you want on your control, like trying to play, and especially if you're trying to do like some combos and like your finger slips or something. It's like like
You come
gotta be the
across
worst.
that a lot. Like,
Like-
are there a lot of gross panels in the arcade fighting world?
no, I honestly, believe it or not, no, there isn't. Like, just everybody tries to be very like super nice
Respectful.
about it. Yeah, like, you know.
How
everything
long
like
have
that.
you been going to tournaments and stuff? Because I don't know, I thought it was like a new thing for you, or have you been doing it for a while?
Let's see. I'm thinking about it now because it's like, let's see, I'm 24. I've been going to Comic-Con, the Wizard World, for like about almost 6 years straight. With this one that's coming up, that's going to be my 6th year going with it. And they started recently, so like about 3 years now.
Oh,
Because they started recently having the game part of it, like
So you
come.
do these tournaments at like comic conventions?
Yeah, like they're
Okay.
fun. Like if they let you join in and everything like that. Not as much as I used to though, because they recently spread it out to like 3 days,
No.
like in the bracket. And I was like, ooh, I'm just trying to go to Saturday.
Yeah.
I was like it or not, I was like, I still got bills. I gotta go to work. Like,
No.
yeah, so it's like, but yeah, like any chance I get, since they have the games there, and obviously, you know, they have like different tables and stuff you can play. I'm like, all right, cool. If I can't join the tournament, it's like at least I can play against some of the tournament players, and I can just sit down like, dude, you mind if I spar with you? And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever, man, just grab a seat. And I'm just
Well,
like, all right, cool.
Spar. with
Yeah.
each other.
That's cool. That's good.
Do you do a lot of Street Fighter tournaments, or what's like an easier tournament to find as opposed to something a little more like what's the most common fighter game tournament? I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
Oh, like recently, most definitely Street Fighter 5, Dragon Ball Z Fighters Z. If that's a name, unless they changed it, it's a dumb name. But
It again is the name though. Yeah.
no, yeah, because everybody was just saw it. Like the first time they saw it, I like.
ZXZ, Xenoverse Fighter.
Yeah, like when they first saw it on like E3 or whatever, everybody was like, okay, so it's because they put the Z like at the end of Fighters, and like I think they were going for like the Mortal Kombat thing, and like tried to
Yeah.
switch out the S for the Z, and everybody's like, okay, so it's called Dragon Ball Fighters, and then they're like, nah,
No,
it's
no,
Dragon
it's
Ball
not.
Z Fighters Z, and I'm like, why? Like,
That's so odd. But you're gonna have some fighting words with Tyler if he's still hiding in the studio anywhere. He loves Dragon
He
Ball
hasn't
Z.
left yet.
D-
He
ah.
hasn't left.
Well, no, I mean, if you ever played that game, it's pretty entertaining. But other than that, yeah, most definitely Street Fighter 5 currently. It's because it's making huge revamps to their game, which is cool. They just recently introduced like a new counter mechanic. It's called V Trigger 2. So everybody has like a second. It's basically when you get wailed on, it's like, you know how you build your regular meter by doing combos, getting hit, doing other stuff, just playing the game in general. And then there's like a second meter that they have, which is known as V-Trigger. And now they have a second one that they gave every character, and it's a different counter mechanic. So if you're getting wailed on, the only way to fill it up is like if you get hit or you're taking damage. So the more damage you take, the more meter you get out of it. And you can use it to like you do reversals. So like in the middle of someone's combo, like if they're just bullying you in the corner, you can be like just kind of blocking it out. And then you can just use the V reversal and then reverse, like, pretty much parry their combo and then just, like, get them in the corner and then
Okay.
try to turn the match over to your favor. If you fill it and then use V triggers, it's character specific, so each one of them has their own different one. And when you fill it and you can use that, it's like now that they have this new ones for every character, it's like, all right, cool, so now I have a different way of playing. So now it's like this whole new nature, like this whole new...
That's a big mechanic.
Yeah,
too,
it's like
so-
a whole new monster. Everybody's like, dude, we've already memorized everybody's hitboxes, what they can't do.
Yeah.
As to far as like the reach, range, and everything like that. So now it's like they got this new one plus new characters, and Blanca's, I don't know, he's pretty beastly. I've seen people playing him. I'm like, Jesus.
Is Blanca new to the game, or was he part of it initially?
He was always part of it initially, but they just added him in this new season.
Well, I know
Yeah.
Blanca as the character, but I meant for
Oh, no,
Street
yeah,
Fighter
yeah.
5. Was he part of the original roster?
No, he was not a part of the original roster. He's this is season 3 that they're doing, and they added him in.
Oh, so they're still actively adding characters, because didn't that game come out like a year or two ago? Right?
Yeah, came out a while ago.
Cool. Well, that's cool.
I like when developers do that. If they make a game that can stand there, we'll just keep kind of improving on it. And
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and maybe I'm wrong, and if I am, tell me. That's why we have you here. But to me, I feel like a fighting game is a fighting game. Outside of adding new characters, there's not much more that you could build upon. As far as I know. So, what are some things that maybe a normie, someone who only has a base, level of experience with a fighing game, what's something that I might not realize is something that changes every time a new one of these games comes out? Like, are there important mechanics that I'm missing as a regular?
Well, that reversal one's a good example. I mean,
I had no idea what that was.
That changed the whole dynamic of the game. I mean,
Well, yeah, there's different mechanics definitely to every fighting game, but let's see, what's the best way to put this? Like, fighting games isn't necessarily for everybody. Like, it's not like one of those things that's like you pick it up and it's like, dude, this is dumb. It's like you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's like I can sit there and I can play this game literally for like 5 hours or 8 hours straight, and there's not times where I haven't done that. Like, freaking yesterday or whatever, I was like, oh, I'm gonna play Dragon Ball Z for a little bit. I was like, I'm gonna polish up some stuff, freaking get into some practice and everything like that. I did practice for what I thought was gonna be like an hour. It turned into a 2-hour session of practice of just sitting there with the same character, just practicing my moves over and over, make sure my
turned into a montage.
Yeah, like it turned into like make sure like my fundamentals and also as well my my execution is good. And then I was like, I'll just try like a couple rank matches and everything like that. And then that 2-hour session now all of a sudden has turned into like some 8 hours of playing. And like, so for the 6 hours of rank matches that I played, I think I got like destroyed for like 3 of them.
Oh my God.
And yeah, it was a straight solid losing streak. And then I just, I don't know what happened, but somewhere in between there it just flipped. And then
that stuff gets intense. I don't have, like I said, I have a base level of it. I like Marvel vs. Capcom. I like Marvel, so I'll play that. It's always fun. And Injustice was good too because it's superheroes again. Like you shrug your shoulders. So maybe you could tell me why, if that's seen as like a weird game in the culture. But like I said, I enjoy it. I'll play it, but at a certain point, I'm like, okay, I've played as all these characters. I'm going to take a break now. You don't hit that point, though, do you? You just kind of...
No, I just keep going.
Wow.
I just keep going. It doesn't even matter. It could be the same characters. Again, like I said, I played, SNK versus Capcom 2. I played that with my buddy Art, straight up like from 8 p.m. on one day, and then we didn't go to sleep till like 6 p.m. the next day. And we didn't even switch characters. It was literally just rematch after we lost. It would just keep going like back to back to back to back. We never switched characters or anything like that.
With Gene or someone that really likes him, they're focusing on such little things, like you said, polishing like combos up and whatnot. Yeah. When me and you, it's just like learning that one like initial combo, and that's that's how far I get before I'm like, oh, I'm kind of bored now.
Yeah.
Now I'm just terrible at it.
Like it's like let's see, how can I put it? Because so when people go in to play a fighting game, they're like, all right, cool, I want to learn this combo, it's great, I want to learn a little bit about this character, it seems fun. They'll do their story, learn a little bit about their combos, and they're like, I'm good, I'm satisfied, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then there's other people that look at it and they're all like, nah, I need to know like everything, every single one of their combos that they hit, which combos I can link into other combos, which one leads to juggles, like which one's
So hold on, I'm sorry, let me just stop you, but what's a juggle?
A juggle? So I guess the best way I could put it is like kind of
when you're playing a fighting game and you're so mad you want to throw your controller, you're being juggled probably. Okay. It's when they keep you in the air and they keep striking you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have a moment to
juggling.
Literally.
Okay.
There's that, and then there's bounces. Bounces are usually like hard hits when they kind of get you like off the ground, like flat. So they can go from a juggle and then they can bounce you, so they can hit you down with a hard hit. And there's like a good meaty hit, and then you just kind of hit the ground and kind of bounce up ever so slightly enough for where they could just low hit you and then bring you back up into a juggle. So it's just a constantly going.
I'm upset thinking about this.
Yeah, I'm angry at you for telling me what that is. I feel like
I'm angry that you know how to do that, and that you're an asshole for that.
If you think that's bad, it's funny because you brought it up in Injustice. If I play Harley, it's bad. I played my buddy or whatever, never touched the ground. He was just so angry. He's like, dude, what the heck? You need, like, the round just started. I was like, my bad, I'm sorry.
I spent a fair amount of time with Injustice 1.
It was a fun game. They definitely polished it up in Injustice 2, but I feel like when I played it, like everything about it was pretty solid just for me in general. For the games I play, it was a little sluggish, a little slow. Like
okay.
And there was there was just some things that they didn't fix that I was kind of upset about, because Deathstroke has this one move that has like he has no recovery whatsoever on the frames. So it's just like he can just go boom boom and just keep doing it until you drop your guard, until he just chips you to death, and then you're just dead.
So recovery means there's no time in between the moves, so you could just keep doing it over and over.
So when a fighter says like recovery or recovery frames, it's like a certain amount of frames that your character has to go back to just base, to just his normal stance, how he is.
Okay.
And what's it called? The more frames it takes, that's more unsafe. That's what we mean by unsafe. Because like you can do the move and the person can block it. And if your moves are safe on block, that means you can do that move, and then you can go into block. So if they try to counter you, you'll be fine. So that's why it's called safe on block. But if it's not safe on block, that means that person can counter and punish you for doing that move. So
fuck that noise.
This is really intense. I did not. I love that every week I'm surprised more and more at how intricate what we're talking about really is. Because I honestly I had no idea that it was so detailed and like down to the frame rate of the video game. That's something that you guys depend on in your fighting. Yeah,
it's something pretty intense. Like I've been playing. I think I first started playing Street Fighter, I think when I was 8 years old, down in Mexico where my grandmama lived. There was just like a little arcade there. And I remember she would take me or whatever because just like the convenience store or whatever was like right next to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she's like, all right, I'm going to go pick up some stuff. Here's some damn money. I'll go have fun. And I'm like, all right, cool. Problem was, though, I only get a set amount of money. Like, I can't go back like, grandmama, like,
I'm out of quarters.
Yeah, like.
Not good yet, so.
Yeah, no, it was a set amount. So, like, anytime she gave me money, I'm like, dude, I got to make this last. So, like, obviously, it was either get good or just, have the fear of having to ask for money again.
I love how that was your initial drive into fighting games was, like, not to get hit by your grandma. You didn't want to have to ask that. You're like, I got to get better so it'll last long. I don't have to ask her.
Hey man, I love my grandma, but she like bestowed the fear of God in me, man. That woman. but yeah, like after that, I was just like, all right, cool. So I played it just all the time, and it was fun, obviously, because you're in the arcade, you're with other kids and stuff like that, and you're just like, you just play games and you just have fun. So from then on, I just always played, bought a bunch of systems and always played. Literally, most of the systems I bought was the fighting games, the Driving Force. When Killer Instinct came out for like Xbox One, I was like, cool, I'm gonna get that now. Bought it all, bought the season passes, the costumes, everything like that for it. When they're like Street Fighter, they're like, oh, it's only gonna be on PlayStation 4, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna get that.
Cool.
PlayStation 4.
Yeah, so now I got 2 PlayStations 4. Funny story with that. So I bought a PlayStation 4. I bought it. Bought the collectors for it. I bought the the season passes. I bought all the season passes. I have the costumes. I missed the recent holiday ones, which I'm kind of bummed about. But it does because it's just like that costume slot that's just missing. But other than that, I bought that. Anytime they have like the Evo, they have like sometimes Evo specials, which is like the really big tournament for like fighting games. Mm-hmm. They have that like sometimes they have specials for it, and it's like the way it works, it's like, all right, cool, we're gonna put it out on the PlayStation Network. You go, it's like we have these special Evo set costumes, like Evo 2018 or 2017 or whatever, and like sometimes some stages along with it and different colors for your characters, and you go, you buy it. And when you buy it, a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's dumb, man." It's like, you're just buying costumes. And I'm like, well, if you're a fighting game fan, it's like you buy it, and the money that you spent on it like goes into the pot for Evolution for the Evo.
Oh,
so like when you buy it, the money is like a portion of that money goes into the pot and makes the pot bigger. So there's like the base amount, and then there's like more that's being added on top of that.
That's a cool way to do that.
That's cool. All right. I do that. I mean, honestly, getting new costumes and characters was my favorite part of all of those games.
Yeah.
Like when you opened up Super Smash Brothers that first time, and you see those question marks on the side, and you're like, yo, what the fuck is up? Let's figure it out. So you just tear the game apart.
Yeah.
So like, I
scavenge everything.
Yeah, I remember when the internet first started becoming a thing right around like GameCube era. My friend found online how to unlock Mewtwo in Super Smash Brothers Melee, and it was like leaving the console on all night and keeping your characters like stationary, and then one of you loses, and then whoever loses will fight Mewtwo because you need to rack up a certain amount of time played in the game. That shit was amazing. What are some crazy secrets that you remember when you were like playing these games? You're like, I can't believe I just unlocked this guy through this fucking crazy...
It was the Mewtwo thing, actually. Yeah, believe it or not, I love Super Smash Brothers. That is my shit. But what is it? When we got Mewtwo, it was funny. We were playing on the GameCube with me, my buddy Hector, my little brother Junior, and my best friend Gabby. We were all just playing, right? Just minding our own business. Understand? I played this game like daily, like religiously. Like wake up, go do a couple rounds, go to school, get back from school, do my homework, then back to it, and And it was
life.
yeah, and it was super funny because I think we were playing, and I think the last one I knocked out was my buddy Hector or whatever. And then all of a sudden it's just like boom, just like a random fight, and I'm like, what the heck? I was like, we didn't do nothing. We've just been doing like regular matches or whatever. And it's like it was Mewtwo. Like everybody just looked at him and we're just like, bruh.
Lost his shit.
Like it wasn't even like it was the most calm pep talk in the world, and it wasn't even a pep talk. We just looked at him. We're just like, bruh, you better not drop this. You better not lose this. I swear to God. Like,
Have to do this for
You know, my
everyone.
favorite part about all that is, like you said, I think the challenge to unlock Mewtwo was to play for like X amount of hours. So you would just leave your GameCube on to do that.
Yeah.
They just played. They were just playing all day and unlocked that.
Yeah.
It just naturally happened.
Well, that's
yeah, that's why we panicked, because like he just lost, and then they just popped up. We're like, dude, what do? We have no idea. We cannot repeat this.
What
Like
do
if
we
you
do?
if you lose this right now, we're host.
yeah, if you don't get this now, who knows if it'll ever come back.
Yeah.
That was
That was the
a
fear.
great mystery of games. I mean, and that's what Smash Brothers does now. All you have to do is play a certain amount of matches, and you'll unlock every character.
Yeah.
They just want you to play it, and I think that's a great model for fighting games. Personally,
I enjoy it.
yeah. Like I remember I played Mortal Kombat, and you had to like unlock certain stuff from the crypt, and you had
Yeah.
to get some of it over here and some of it over there, and
Yeah.
you're just kind of like, fuck, dude, I just want to play as like Samurai Scorpion. Why can't I do that? You know, but it was good stuff. So on characters, what are some of your all-time favorite? Like, who are your, as this is a term I know, your mains in all of the fighting games that you're playing? When you go, who's the guy that you pick in each one?
Street Fighter. Currently, I'm playing Colleen. Usually, my main is Cammy though. But I'm not gonna lie, I probably should polish that one up. Then I'm starting to learn Mika. She's a little hard, just mainly because she's a grappler, so her command and grabs are like you have to be like extremely close, as to some other people that kind of like step a little bit forward and then grab them.
Oh,
So it's like hers is just stationary, like she's feet are planted, same spot. So when you do like a combo and then you try to go into it, it's like it's a weird like dash motion kind of thing you got to do. So you got to like combo dash, command grab, and then go into the big meaty finish. So it's like
Big meaty.
yeah. So that's why it's like that's why she's kind of hard. On King of Fighters, my main anchor for my team is Terry. That's my monster. Just destroy, love him.
Monster.
Yep.
See, an actual monster, I'm not familiar with that game.
No, King of Fighters, no, just regular people with powers, obviously. And then, so usually it's a team of 3. So my lineup is very simple. It's usually Rock, Orochi, and then Terry. Terry's always my anchor. He's my go-to. He's the one that in SNK versus Capcom 2 actually that everybody usually got to, and one dude got real close because he beat out both my characters on my team, and then Terry was my last one, and I still won.
Just on the subject of when you have the tag team style fighting,
Yeah.
what kind of things do you look for to make a team? Like what attributes are you looking to consider so they all work together, or is it just like the ones you know best or something?
The way I recommend it for people, synergy is definitely good. Because if your characters has assists, like when they can pop up and like, oh, I'm gonna help you out, dude. Like, definitely look for the assists that will work for you in your combos. So synergy between your team is very important. Like I'm playing Dragon Ball Z, my synergy between my team, garbage, not there.
No one's on the same page.
It's not
No
existent.
one's paying
Like the
Three
assist.
random people.
Yeah, it's just like the assists to help
is
each
just
other.
Steve,
Garbage.
some
They
guy.
just don't work. But I play them, and I love each one of them. So I'm like, I don't care. I'm still gonna make it work, and I do.
Okay, I respect it. So it's not just you're not, for every game you're going in a different direction.
Yeah.
Some of it is, well, I just like this character, so I'm going to use this one.
Yeah.
In others, it's just, well, this suits my fighting style.
Yeah. Like everybody has their different fighting style between like their balance, aggression, and then like their turtle style. I'm more of an aggressor. Like I'm just kind of like I'm one of those people who are like always up in your face. Like just like
No
don't
one likes
like
that
no
guy.
space. Like cause I always hated like when like kids would like in the arcade would just like fireball me out.
Yeah.
Like that's always been my thing. Like they just
kick.
and like fireball me, and then you try to get close and then they just counter you, then backdash all the way to the other side of the screen and then go with the fireballs again. Like that drove me insane. So because
Yeah.
of that, I'm just like
Shit, it's awful. It's
I'm
cheap.
frustrated right now.
like that always frustrated the hell out of me. So
That's the camping of fighting games.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna have to do something about it. So like anytime I was able, like at that point, it became I was like, if I touch you, I'm going to destroy you for shooting fireballs at the end of the screen. So at that point, it was just kind of more of like who can kind of keep their distance. So like if you fireball me out, I would lose, obviously, or whatever. But if I get close enough and I get my hands on them, it's like, all right, cool. It's like dead.
Right. So do you prefer like a slower but heavy hitting character, or a lighter, strike and go type character?
What's funny about that is like I don't have a middle for it. It's either super slow, super strong, or super fast.
You're
and
one of the two extremes.
Yeah, it's just
way.
it's never in the middle. I've never played a character that's in the middle because in Injustice 2, Harley Quinn, super fast, pretty weak, but super fast, can make anything. But also Bane, super slow but super beastly. Like it does a lot of damage and everything like that. And what's funny is like a lot of people don't. People need to go to the trouble of like practicing, learning their fundamentals and what the character can do. Like Injustice, you guys have played it, right? Yeah. So you guys know like the little circle, how each one of them has their own little power.
Yeah, the B. Well, we play on Xbox, so B.
Oh, B. It would be B.
But the same thing, right?
Yeah.
It's that little extra. I think for like Batman, if I remember correctly, he gets like 3 little homing pads or something.
Yeah,
right?
so like accessories that they have.
Yeah, so basically the character ability. A lot of people didn't know this or whatever. They're like, Bane's thing's useless. He just gets a power up. It's like, no. It's like Bane's a grappler. He's in your face. If you use his power-ups, each one of them gives him something different. So, like, the first one, strengthens you. The first one strengthens you, makes you a little faster. The third one strengthens you, makes you faster, and it makes you immune to projectiles. So if you're running towards them, and people just fireball you, just hit it 3 times, charge at them, and then they're going to be like, why isn't my stuff working? He just runs through it. That's doesn't even phase him. He just runs through it, does nothing, and then you can just get in their face.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah. See, that's why I always tell people, I'm like, practice.
Know your. So you would say that no matter what, knowing the real basics, getting back to basics on a fighting game is just crucial to the whole thing.
Fundamentals. You've mentioned it a few times now.
Yeah.
So.
Know your fundamentals, know your reach with your characters and everything like that. What combos you can't make work. And
I want to see you like in a dojo teaching a class, like
let's
synergy between.
Yeah, let's go with Gene's advice corner. What are your tips? If someone is saying right now they're listening to, I would love to get into the competitive fighting scene. What are your tips for that person?
If you want to pick up fighting games in general, definitely know the difference between your cross-ups and your footsie game. And for those of you who've been playing,
hold on.
I'm gonna get it.
Footsies?
Yeah, I'm gonna get into it. For those of you who've been playing long enough, if you don't know your cross-ups between your footsie games, like by now, I'm gonna tell you right now, don't pick up Street Fighter. Like if you're doing something wrong if you don't know it by now.
Yeah. But nickel.
But no, anybody who's gonna play your cross-ups and your footsie games, very simple. Cross-ups. So it's basically your characters are standing just normal stationary. You fight, someone gets a knockdown. They get the combo finisher, and then you're knocked down. The idea is to jump, and then when you jump, you're not necessarily landing in front of them. You're landing right on top of them to the point where you can hit like a button, like a light or something like that, and your hit kind of expands a little bit more, like where it would be behind them. So they would block, but they're not on the other side. So they would block, and the hit would kind of come back behind them, so they can't block it. So then they would cross you over or cross up.
So almost like a boomerang, like
kind of scenario,
past them, so they're like, haha, you missed me, but then it hits them in the back of the head.
So the way it would work is you would hit them kind of in the back and land on the other side, and then you could just tee off and then just get your combo in there and get your punish. So that's your cross-up. Your footsie game, very simple. It's your normals. So your normals are just like your regular hits without any powers, like your lights, mediums, and heavies and stuff like that. And those, that they call it a footsie game because basically you're just ranging each other out. You're just like kind of like feeling it out, trying to get the range between your character.
Like
and just
how
kind
actual
of
two fighters would.
Yeah.
They would test their range and see where they're at. Okay.
Yeah. So that brings it back to the fundamentals. It's like know your normals, know how far they reach, know what they can counter, which ones are good for anti-airs, which ones are good for just getting space and getting breathing room, like get up off me kind of situation. And like I need some room, I need to get out of here, or like if you need to create some distance in a corner to get out. So those are important to learn.
Would you recommend someone start with like maybe try a few characters and like familiarize themselves with one and then maybe focus on that one for a long time, or like try to play the whole field to get the differences between?
Oh no. Definitely play every character. Every character. You don't get a choice. Character picks you. Like that's how it is.
Character picks you.
You don't get a choice. Like
I
me,
love that.
Like me, when I was a kid, I always thought I was like, dude, Guile is the shiz. Like when I was a kid, I was like, he's got everything just super,
His hair
like the
is so
hair,
cool.
just super huge. Just beastly.
Guile.
Yeah.
American as fuck, yeah.
I thought he was like just super cool. Nah, didn't get that choice. Cammy didn't get that choice. Played Cammy, destroyed. And I was like, oh, this is my character now. I don't. Yeah, you don't get a choice.
You find that one. I dig that because, again, I have a very base level of fighting games, but I love Super Smash Brothers. I mean, anyone who loves Nintendo or has any sort of affection towards Nintendo will love Super Smash Brothers.
That's a game that could be fun.
I feel like that's a game that everybody just loves in general.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you like, there's something wrong with you if you don't like that. I don't know where you were born or what the heck is going on, but
Because
you
even
don't
if you're
know.
not good at the game, it's still really fun.
still enjoyable.
But like if you're not good at like a standard fighting game, it's terrible because you're just getting your ass kicked. But with Smash Brothers, you can kind of move around more, and it's
it's fun. It's a
Pick up
little more
a laser
chaotic.
gun.
It's a little better playing ground, and I spend a lot of time playing random character. Just kind of always picking random because there's so many to pick from. It's,
you're like,
it's
I
the
wanna try
burden of
all.
choice. Yeah, and you want to try all of them. But the more I played it, the more I found myself playing a better and better game as Captain Falcon.
Yeah, like you slowly kind of notice, like I'm starting to gravitate towards this character.
You're like, oh, well, every time this one comes up, I do it just a little bit better than when I play with a different character.
Yep.
And you start kind of realizing those patterns, and Captain Falcon was that one for me. So that's a cool way to look at it. Just kind of keep playing every character, do your thing, and eventually that one will come to you. That happened to me in Injustice also. I ended up being really good with Batgirl. Never would have thought it. Never would have picked her up. I got her as DLC, and then
bam.
I was like, oh, let me play her. It's DLC, so I might as well try her. And I loved it, and I played as Batgirl all the time from that point forward.
I know why you're wearing that cape when you're back there.
Batgirl
just in
under
it.
ruse.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. That's what I tell people. I'm like, do you play every character? I was like, it's weird, but they'll find their way to you. Like, it's awkward. Like, a lot of people do that. Like, when they first play out, when they first start playing fighters. Well, my advice for people to Super Smash Bros. Just to piss off your friends. I'm like, if you can't find a character right away, just chuck shit. Just throw people.
Oh,
just
dude,
throw.
I am so good at throwing stuff. I've actually tried really hard to get good at that for that one reason.
Specifically,
Because when someone's trying to come up in the edge and they go,
bah,
that is so frustrating. And I'm like, see ya.
that is
I'll
frustrating.
throw it from across the map too. Like,
Have you guys ever had the scenario when someone has chucked stuff at you and you're like, no, but you like swing, but you don't get hit by it, you catch it and you just fall?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
You're like, no.
that's still kind of satisfying.
Like to me, it makes me mad because I'll catch it and I'm like, jump. Like in my mind, I'm like, jump. But I fall.
You're falling.
Just watch it.
And then jump. And I'm like, I could have jumped a little earlier. Like I messed that up. Like
That one's on me.
Like I got like dazed by this item that just swapped out of the air, like just out of nowhere. It's like it's the funniest thing. But on Super Smash Brothers, I used to play Fox a lot.
Okay.
Like, yeah, because I played his games, and I thought I was like, oh yeah, Fox. It was like super cool.
Yeah, I thought that was cool too. Like, he's a pilot, a fighter now.
Yeah,
And it's a fox.
and then it just so happens like compared to Fox or whatever, like Ganondorf out of all people or whatever. Like with Fox, I get up to like 200, maybe 300 damage, and then just get murked. And then like with Ganondorf, like I've come back on like 443
He's got a
damage.
lot of power.
Yeah.
behind him.
Yeah,
Ganon
And it-
does have a lot of power behind him. If you know what you're doing, that's a dangerous thing.
Yeah, I've seen some people like do really well with him.
What I love about him is that his swat on melee can almost like cancel out every throw. That's super funny. Like people like chuck a Pokeball and it's like swat. Like you can swat it out the air to land in front of you and you just like throw it back at him.
I love that. I love that about that's one of my favorite things with Villager, where you just
Oh my
catch
god,
it, pocket
yeah.
it, throw it back with 10 times the strength. I think it's 10 times or like 3 times. It doesn't matter, but there's a multiplier in strength.
Yeah, it's like weird. I use what is it? And the new one, I use a hell out of Little Mac. Little Mac.
Is fun. If you know what you're doing with him, he's cool. Otherwise, he's a tough character because he doesn't have a lot of.
He doesn't have any range.
Exactly. There's no
You gotta
range.
be in their face.
He doesn't really have a high jump. He's got kind of a pretty bad recovery too. But if you can get him
bad.
to like just
Just in your face.
yeah, if you get right up in there and you know what you're doing, that's a scary time too.
Yeah. It's
For
super.
sure.
It's super great because I think we were playing teams, and I don't know what the heck happened or how this madness happened, but I was playing. It was me and like 7 of my other buddies. We did the 8-way. We were all doing good, and then it's like came down to like 3 of my buddies or whatever that just died, and I was like, "No, why are you like this?"
You like
Yeah,
this?
but like right before though he died, he's all like last name dog, and he just dropped the bomb, and somehow like because I was fighting somebody else, so Little Mac has his little rapid punch, is like where he just like ta 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 and just goes at it. So when he does his little barrage, like you can kind of hold him, and then he ends it with like an uppercut and launches him. So I was hitting him or whatever, and I was like, dude, he's about to die. I need to get up out of here and get high ground or something to get him off me. I was like, because we're all just gonna like just devour me.
Yeah.
So as I let go to like end it, he drops said bomb, knocks them over to me, and it just so happens that they were just in range to where I hit all of them like da.
Oh,
I was like, yeah. So then when I KO'd him, I was like, I don't even care. I can lose this freaking round. I don't care. I got that. That was great.
Yeah, I love that
Get
shit.
your own win right there.
Yep.
Those are the best moments. And I love Super Smash Brothers because it's so eclectic. There's so many different characters from all over the place that it's really cool to fight. Like, because now fucking there's Ryu and Mario.
Oh yeah.
Go head to head.
That's
Like-
what I said when they added Solid Snake from Twin Snakes.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
That actually
yeah.
bothered me because like I see Snake as this real cool badass in any environment, and he's like punching Mario in the nose. Like I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, because
Like I feel like he's beating up a random Italian man. I feel bad now.
it's weird, yeah, because Super Smash Brothers, while it's a fighting game at its core, it's still very light and
Cartoony.
cartoony. Yeah, so that
I
is
like
a weird
that.
juxtaposition.
Like what is it? The fan? The fan is my shit. I love that. Like
It's,
I just
like,
grab like
super
just
light.
just like smacking the hell out of him with it.
So good, so good. So I want to use that eclectability, if that's a real word. If it's not, I just made it. To come
Trademark
into
penny.
today's little activity. Everyone who listens knows we like to end each episode with an activity, unless there's live music with Kurt or whatever. So today, instead of playing Would You Rather, we're going to play Who Would Win. So I've got a couple of matchups here from different characters from all over different fighting games. So it's not going to be just like Ryu versus Ken or whatever. They're going to kind of spread out. Got a couple of pair-ups. We'll talk. Let's debate. Let's see who thinks who would win. So the first matchup I have, we're going to bring Ryu from Street Fighter, someone everyone knows, just a real basic, little light palette type thing, versus Iron Man from Marvel vs. Capcom.
Ooh.
So, Gene, as our resident expert guest, how about you start this off? Who do you think, right off the bat, if you had to pick a name just from hearing them, who do you pick and why?
That one is kind of a tough one, but I think in the end I'd probably pick Ryu. Wait, is it just, does it have to be Ryu, or can it be like, if he needed to, turn into like the Eel Ryu if need be?
Yeah, variants on Ryu. Is it?
What? Well, I don't. What's Eel Ryu?
Eel Ryu is basically like, so he, you know how he has a little like force, whatever, helps him shoot fireballs. Just a little like that.
Aura.
Yeah, so his little aura basically, or his ki. So it's called the Susanoo Haro, and basically the way that is like, it's basically like Akuma, but the only difference is Akuma's just said screw it, and he just like let all the evil in. He didn't care. Ryu's trying not to do that.
Like,
Okay.
every once in a while, he'll just like
Yeah, like
take the cap off.
Pop it
Yeah,
open for a few minutes.
and he'll just gain insane, monstrous like strength. So
Let's just leave it to the one that people know. Let's keep it with a regular.
Just regular
Yeah,
Ryu?
just regular, straight up, like brand happy Ryu.
all right, cool. Then I'm still gonna go with Ryu.
Ryu over
Yeah.
Iron Man, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And now, as someone who's played fighting games and has played probably as both characters, what does it come down to? What makes you pick Ryu over Iron Man?
I pick Ryu mainly because of his versatility and his fighting sense. Like, because the way it works is like, for the Susanoo Haro is basically, it's like you just focus, like, that's all it is. It's basically just straight up, like, fighting. That's all that style that he knows, that his master taught him, is just fighting and violence. The only difference is he tries to use it to better himself. He just kind of tweaked it a little bit. That's all it is.
So he's more of a skilled fighter. And
Yeah.
a one-on-one, hand-to-hand combat, he would have the upper hand.
Yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, Iron Man, like, let's be honest, like okay, say he doesn't have his, at least not his suit or his powers or anything, but just no guiding system, like no computer telling him or anything like that. Like, he's not going to know,
Yeah,
like,
so
how to
it does
react.
analyze like combat.
Yeah, like, he doesn't know how to react or how to move or anything like that. Ryu, it's not even like, I got to think about it. His body just moves.
That's
like,
a good point.
He's
yeah.
done it for a while and everything, and he's fought people with like weird powers and everything like that. Like Bison, he's a punk. Like,
Fair enough.
like so, I mean, like
The
if it-
teacher says Bison's a punk.
yeah, like
Listen, he's a punk.
he is a punk, man. I hate him, but I mean, if you think about it, it's like, all right, cool. You want to talk about big monstrous power? It's like here's Bison, the dude who can like blow up a country, and like he goes up against them freaking regularly, like you know.
Sure, yeah. Leaves him in the dust. What about you, John? Where are you leaning?
You know, haven't had much experience with Iron Man in whatever you call it, I don't know, the Capcom versus whatever. So
Whatever.
I'm kind of thinking of, I guess I'm going to the MCU Iron Man, or just the character in general. I think he's obviously fairly intelligent. He's clever, and he usually solves problems. And I keep thinking of how he has plans to take on the Hulk when he needs to. He has the bigger suit and everything. And I feel like
You're baking on his contingency plans then.
yeah, I feel like if it's somehow whatever universe has happened in, he might have some kind of like cage he would just throw in Ryu and be like, that's it.
Like your
He
host,
would just like
take
shoot
it.
it with a huge metal cage, and he would be like, "Damn!"
Sh-
But
shoot
I did
shoot
not
him with
know,
the cage.
I did not know that he had like that whole key going on, that crazy evil energy. I didn't know
yeah.
my lore that well, so I guess he's a lot stronger than I suspected, and that would be really cool. I just want to see him fight now. No,
It's like I want to see this go down.
I
Straight
want to
at
see
it.
it happen because now I'm on the fence at first. It's like, oh, well, Iron Man. And I think that just because that's where my knowledge is based, is in I know how Iron Man is, but I don't know how Ryu is. Now that you've told me about like the fighting thing, you're right, because it even makes me think about that scene in Civil War where he's getting like the crap kicked out of him by Captain America. And
Because he's fought. He has experience. He has that instinct.
Yeah, exactly. And Captain America's just going to town on him, and he still needed to like analyze his fighting pattern.
Yeah.
You know, he needed the computer to do it. So you're right. I don't think that Iron Man could. Maybe he wouldn't be able to hold up. You know, all it would take is Ryu to just like rip that mask off and like
He has no computer. He
disable that computer, and Ryu could win. So I think
Hit him in the
might.
face.
Yeah.
I think I might also have to go with Ryu on this one.
Boom.
We'll put some polls on the Facebook so you guys can tell us what you think also. But I think as far as this room is concerned, we're going Ryu, right?
I think so. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, that was good. So let's go on to this next one. It sounds a little lopsided when you first say it, but
Diggity.
hopefully
like-
we can figure out a good argument for.
It's like
for
the Hulk
winner.
versus Rocket Raccoon.
It may as well be. It's Luigi versus Sub-Zero.
Oh.
Luigi though,
I feel like it's just like because you're a fan of Luigi, you use him on Super Smash Bros., don't you?
No.
Use his little stoner move and like freaking make everybody fall asleep.
I love Luigi. I think Luigi to me is the superior Mario brother. You know, he's got a higher jump. His flames are green, so that's cool.
but he's clumsy as shit though. He's like he's kind of an idiot.
Hey, it's all
your
about the mad
opinion,
hops, and that's what
man.
he's got, all right?
Yeah, he's got the
Oh,
ups.
he can play
He's got
basketball.
that vertical. Yeah, what
got
can Mario do? Plunge
He's got the
toilets.
ups. He looks better. He's a little bit thinner. You know, Mario's a little punch ball, letting go, eating too many mushrooms. I think
Give kicking it. He has a drug problem. We all know it.
Luigi to me really Luigi is like the Mr. Magoo of Nintendo,
Mr. Magoo.
where it's just kind of like without intending it, everything kind of seems to go his way. You know, like I could just picture him and Sub-Zero fighting, and like Luigi like bending over to do something, and then
Something
like,
dumb, and then you just
yeah,
like,
and
ah,
the ice
blast.
beam just like bounces back and hits Sub-Zero in the
the
face,
face.
you know. So Sub-Zero ends up beating himself up in the end. That's how I picture that one going down.
Luigi
so.
not realizing what happened at all.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh, look at this, a coin. He's like, oh, you're still here?
Why you give me the cold shoulder?
Yeah, where did you go?
wondering
I thought
or
we
were
were
why he's
fighting."
not moving. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Like, is this a statue? I thought we were fighting. Like,
This is a stage fright.
How come there's no frozen statue of a Luigi? You know, something like that.
I would give it to the Luigi too, because if it is Luigi, I mean, he's got the power-ups, and on top of that, there's been a lot of Sub-Zeros. They've been like, just that family is like destined to just get slapped
That's true.
mercilessly.
They do die pretty often.
You see my point? That's why I'm like, dude, you guys are destined to just get slapped and then just have another one come in.
Sub-Zero is the red shirt of Mortal Kombat lore.
Straight up. It really is, honestly. There was the guy that made it, and I was like, dope. play the new game, died. I was like, all right, cool. Like, he got that one game.
Yeah, it's always somebody. Well, yeah, it is somebody else's. Oh, in every Mortal Kombat game, it's somebody is like
Brother.
taking the mantle of it to.
Or some shit.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to be the new Sub-Zero to avenge my brother, the dead Sub-Zero.
It's super weird, and it's like it makes me laugh though because when I played the first couple of like Mortal Kombat games, like I'm gonna avenge my brother. I'm like, bro, how many brothers do you have? Like, you gotta stop. Like,
Family reunions suck.
The Sub-Zero family is an Irish Catholic family.
they're all about that. Like, they're just like I'm sitting here like Jesus.
I just think if I think of Sub-Zero standing next to Luigi to fight him, Luigi's gonna lose. Like, I just can't.
I can't
I'm gonna freeze
picture it.
Luigi and just crush him.
Just
like literally
all
smash
frozen.
him into pieces.
I know, but then it's like, okay, what about if like when he reaches for him, like Luigi just goes full star mode? Like, what then?
Oh, he's got a star power, huh?
Yeah, star power. Star power could potentially be stronger than a fatality.
How do we measure that?
Well, you're completely immune,
not
so
say-
I mean,
Yeah,
like
that-
he just like comes at you,
But
like
then
come at
anyone
me.
with a star could beat anyone, is what we're saying now.
Yeah,
Now it just seems like
yeah.
Yeah, well,
That's
what
the
if
whole-
Sub-Zero gets a hold of that star?
Luigi's hose.
Fatality.
Luigi's hose.
It'd be a cold night.
That'd be one hell of a cold day for everybody, man.
All right, well, okay, so let's round over, final cast. Who's voting Luigi? I say Luigi.
I'm going Luigi.
I'm going Sub-Zero.
Oh, really? Like that?
Well, it looks like Luigi technically wins by,
Well,
a crowd vote, but we'll leave it again to you guys, the listeners. We'll put a poll up there. Let's see if John's right or if we're right. It's going to be us.
okay.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of new powers. He's got it in the bag.
Let's go to the final matchup. Obviously, you can tell that I did this pretty quick. There's a very small pool of games that were pulled from. This last round, M. Bison from Street Fighter,
Ooh.
who was mentioned, versus Mega Man. Again, another Marvel vs. Capcom versus Street Fighter scenario. But Mega Man versus M. Bison.
See, this
Gene
one's-
looks perplexed.
which
This is weird because they're both in the same game at some point, aren't they?
like which Mega Man?
X?
The most mega.
The most Mega.
Yeah, the most Mega Man.
The megaest Mega Man.
I don't know, man. We got this immortal dude versus like this virtual thing that could come back at any given moment. Like this
That's
one's
true.
a tough one
That is weird.
because like Mega Man could basically just like whoop back up, file dog. Like just kind of come back.
Let me save state real quick. Okay, now let's fight.
How about an eternal USB, dog?
Yeah, like see, like he could come back, and then
Mass
Bison,
copies.
and Bison again, like I stated before, is a Cheen punk,
He's a
and
punk,
he can
yeah.
he's basically immortal. Like if he needs to, he's like, I'm just gonna switch bodies and just switch bodies, and then be good.
And Bison can switch bodies. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
He can switch. You ever notice how like he's always stayed the same? Everybody else is kind of like, like he can switch bodies. The reason he's so damn strong is because he ripped out the good part of his soul. Or whatever, and so he just went full evil and like, brah. That's why he's all beastly monster, and he doesn't care about anything.
Shit.
Then,
That's
like,
cool.
So because of that, like he can just kind of throw his soul or his essence in like a different body and just like raw come back like I'm Bison, bitch. And just,
And Bison, motherfucker.
yep, and that's how he does it. I think what is it? I think Rose has the good part of his soul. I don't know what the hell she's waiting on. I would have slapped that thing back on. I'm like, mother, God,
Put it back.
like enough with your
Has there
nonsense.
ever
Guy's a
been
dick.
like a good M. Bison in the canon of Street Fighter?
As far as I know, no.
No.
That fool's just a punk. And plus, he also has his
What
one
are you
move.
waiting for Street Fighter is?
What's
but
a punk?
I just say it just to be like you're a punk. I hate it. Like that's just me. It's like you like it's a nice way of saying you're a d-bag. but no.
Like D Bison.
But yeah,
Nice.
he has this one mode or whatever where he goes like 100% psycho mode, and like that's where
Full
he uses.
psycho.
Yeah, that's what his powers are called, like psycho powers. So
All his powers are called psycho powers.
yeah, for what's that one thing? It's like a psychokinetic.
Okay,
So it's like
right.
vroom. So
very young.
so he has that one mode, and just from playing fighting games in general, when he does that, I can't remember exactly what fighting game it was. It was like it was a mixture of one, but when he does that thing, it's basically everything he does is like a one-hit kill. Worst boss to fight against.
Yeah, that's weak.
Yeah.
that is weak. That's fucked up.
That's why it's so satisfying when you finally beat him. So that's why I'm like, against Mega Man, it's like he's got that in his pocket. But Mega Man, though, it's like he could basically just kind of like come back. On top of that, he could probably call in his homies.
So can you defeat either of these two people indefinitely? Can
Yeah,
you
that's what I'm
murder
saying.
them?
I was like, can you just like, all right, cool, stalemate, or like we're good, or like,
Ooh.
Yeah,
Maybe
one of
that
those
would
that goes
be-
on for years.
Yeah.
It's just rubble. They just
It's
have
kind
to-
of like the eternal Freddy vs. Jason, Alien vs. Predator thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
They're always gonna.
They're always
one
gonna
of
go
them's
at it.
always gonna wink at the end, even though their head's been chopped off.
yeah.
So, okay, we'll leave it there. Let's see what the fans have to say then. We'll leave it open-ended. Do you guys think Mega Man or M. Bison would win? I think that kind of rounds up everything we were trying to accomplish here today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again. Gene, if you have anything you want to say, now's the time to say it. Is there anything you want to plug? Can people see you playing fighting games anywhere? Do you have anywhere that you stream it? Anything you want to tell people about? Where could they find you?
Honestly, not really. I usually play them casually, so nothing like streaming or anything. But I mean,
every Monday.
Yeah, I mean every first Monday, man, at Ground Control up in Portland. If you guys are looking to just have some fun, it's a free tournament. There's no like nothing you would lose. You don't have to put any money in it. If you want to go play some games, it'll be fun. You can learn new tricks, meet new people. It's just a fun environment to be in. It's pretty fun.
Oh, hell yeah. And how about you, John? Anything you want to tell people about? Anything coming up?
It's all secret. It's all under wraps.
It's all under wraps.
Yeah.
We do have some cool stuff coming in the pipeline. Big secrets. All right, well then on that, I appreciate you guys coming again. Remember, if no one else will, then we'll be your friends. Hey everybody, what did you think of today's podcast? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did we not mention something that you think we should have? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then drop us a line at WBYF Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Join the discussion at our Facebook, facebook.com/WBYF Podcast. And for any inquiries about episode ideas, being on the show, fan art, or anything you want us to see personally, send an email to WBYFpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks again for listening, and remember, if no one else will, then we'll be your friends.